Hi everyone, it's Dr. Rebecca. I'm a chiropractor and an energy healer. I'm going to talk to you today about trapped emotions. This is part 2. I thought I could sum up trapped emotions a lot better than I did in the last video. I have a lot more knowledge behind it now. Right. Okay, so a trapped emotion. Oh my goodness, it's stuck inside of you, this emotion. The thing about trapped emotions is when I'm releasing them, it's like they knew that they were there, but they didn't know that they were there. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know something was stuck, but then until I said something, you're like, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I have been feeling unworthy for my entire life. Wow, thanks. It's time to transcend that, right? So that's what happens. So an emotion in definition is energy in motion. It's energy in motion. Energy loves to be in motion. Energy does not like to get stuck. Energy likes to keep flowing. Energy likes to be free. Energy loves to move, and it loves to discover itself through you. And it loves to change you, and it loves to change itself. There is an energy exchange. When an energy comes in, that energy gets changed and you get changed. Anytime an energy in motion, an emotion comes into you, you are serving the universe and you are serving yourself. It's all for a higher reason. You are expanding yourself. You are expanding the world with the power of energy. Now, sometimes these energies are not so pretty, right? Let's say anxiety creeps in, right? Anxiety came in because your mentition, your mental thoughts became a vibrational match to this cloud of anxiety. Now, this was the typical COVID scenario that happened. Now your thoughts, right? There's so many thoughts that you can't process everything. You can't figure out all the answers, because there's so many questions. So we push it down in order to move on with our day. And now we are a vibrational match to anxiety. And now we feel the collective anxiety. It is not your anxiety. It's everybody's anxiety. We are all connected by this energy in motion. This emotion. It's only when you think you are alone with the emotion. That is when you become attached to it and it sticks to you. When you feel like you are the only one feeling this, that is when it gets stuck to you. Okay? That's how it becomes trapped. So when you feel like you're the only one, you shove it down and you keep moving, right? Because that's what we have to do. We got to keep moving. We physically keep moving. But the energy is not moving anymore. So what you need to do is the complete opposite. You need to stop moving completely and let the energy do what it needs to do inside of you. Let it take you over. Do the opposite. And then it changes you. Changes you. It changes you physically, chemically, emotionally. You will change as a person. You will have different values. You will have different perceptions. You will chemically change. You will have a different pH in your body. It connects with your nervous system. You could lose weight. You could physically be able to open your chest more once you process these things out, these trapped emotions. And guess what? When you transform an emotion, you are also changing that frequency for everybody else on this planet. For everybody else on this planet. You are doing a service to humanity by sitting with your feelings. Right? By taking care of yourself, you are taking care of the world. You know what happened during COVID. Do you know how many people killed themselves? It's time. It's time to stop that. What happens when we get another lockdown? What happens when this perpetual anxiety is never dealt with and we keep going and it turns and it skews and we go into depression, into another mental health issue? How many pains are going to pop up in our body that we don't deal with because of all of the energy that's going on in the world? It's time to meditate. It's time to be yin. It's time to get in touch with your body. It's time to accept the emotion. It's time to surrender to the energy of the world and not let it be trapped inside of you anymore. It's time to realize you are one with the universe. You are also very separate from the universe. People don't like that. Oh, it's like spiritual unity, like, all right. No, I'm telling you that we are completely different and utterly the same at the same time, okay? I'm telling you. But you have the power in your hands to change everything. Right? You don't have to have these trapped emotions. So if you book a session with me, you book a body code, emotional code. I think I described trapped emotions pretty good. Trapped, right? So I'm not going to put a whole list, but so what I do is I will sit with you in a Zoom meeting. This is just for the emotional component, but the emotions will tie into the chemical, the nutritional, the physical, everything. It affects everything if you don't process. Okay? And there's different types of trapped emotion. There is a prenatal trapped emotion. Maybe your mother was experiencing something that she wasn't even aware of, right? And now it's still stuck within you. There's a shared trap emotion. So you experienced something with somebody else, and now you both are sharing that vibration. And the only way for you to untangle yourself is for both of you to feel it and to process it out. There is so many. There is an absorbed emotion, right? This is for my empaths, my deep feelers. This is, I walked by somebody and I absorbed it. That can get trapped inside of you and get you stuck. What else is there? Preconception, prenatal emotions being trapped. There's a miasm. There's a generational, generation by generation by generation reverberation of these emotional compounds. There's so many different ones. There's a lot more, but if you would like to, I go through and I test. I have a whole chart and I test and I muscle test like this, and I found out exactly what emotion is trapped. And usually it's like 3 different emotional mixes stuck in one, because energy is never the same. It's always changing. So you can have a mix of unworthy anxiety taken for granted stuck in your pancreas and you're diabetic, right? So sometimes clearing out that emotion is going to help you get to the next level of conquering your diabetes, right? We're nature, we're natural. You know, sometimes I sit here and I'm like, look outside the window. It's like the plants are growing, your hairs are growing, your hairs are growing. Like, we're one and the same. Like, the energy is moving. The energy is doing its thing. It's doing it inside of you. Let it happen. Let it happen, right? Surrender to it. Let it grow. Let that emotion release. And how you get that emotion to release, okay? How you get that emotion to release is by, this is the magic of community, of having someone with you, of identifying it with you and acknowledging that emotion with you is the most easy way to heal, is to have someone else identify it, label it for you. Awareness, that's what I need to say. Awareness, just being able to be like, yep, I felt unworthy my whole life. Yeah, just that awareness sends you in a cascade of healing events. You don't even need to do anything. You will naturally process that emotion out. Probably in your sleep. Probably in your sleep. And then all of a sudden you're thinking differently. You're thinking in a worthy way, that you are worthy. The only reason why an emotion is trapped is because you think you're alone in the emotion, 1, and 2, there's a bunch of beliefs shoving it down, keeping it there, the mental processes. So the only reason why an emotion is trapped is because of yin and yang. Because you're, oh, don't want to do that. Because you're yang, your mentality, your mental beliefs that you are constantly thinking are reinforcing that vortex of energy. They are keeping it there, right? So you change your mind, you're hacking away at this, hacking away at that energy vortex and slowly breaking it apart, okay? That's how one way you release a trapped emotion. The second way you can release a trapped emotion is to fully feel it and let it transform you from the inside out. It's a feminine way, and it's more powerful to feel and to let it move you and to let it transform your chemical body, your physical body, your emotional body. Because I'm telling you, you're in anxiety, it's affecting your parasympathetic nervous system. Your minerals are off. You are not conducting the electricity from your brain to your spinal cord. You are not getting the nutrition that you need to your big toe. You are not getting the nutrition that you need to your pancreas because you are unaware that you are feeling this. Or you felt it and you pushed it down and you're in denial because you got to keep going on with your day. And this is how society and the way we're set up right now is constantly pushing down the nature, is pushing down the natural ways of living. Okay? So it's very simple. Trapped emotions can just be felt, or we can hack away. And sometimes we need a little bit of both. Like, we need to feel it a little bit, and then it comes and goes in waves, and it'll slowly process out. And then sometimes we need to like change our perception, because now we're hanging out with people that constantly reinforce that perception, so it can get really messy. Look at it out there. It's pretty complex and messy, right? It is. But awareness and feeling, feeling as surrendering to the divine, surrendering to the powers of God, and awareness, the masculine, the things that we do in the earth, done together is ultimately supremely healing and self-empowering and great for you and great for the world. So my specialty is a wellness program. So I see you once every season on a Zoom call, and we go through and I make sure that you are that everything you're doing is keeping you in balance. So when the seasons change, we change. We're meant to keep changing with the seasons. And I want to make sure that you are changing with the seasons and listening to your intuition and your body, because I will tap into your essence, into your intuition, into your body, and use muscle testing, and we feed off of each other. And I tell you, oh, this is what I found, and you're like, you know what, that's exactly how I felt, and thank you for reinforcing my intuition and my feeling. And this is such an empowering yearly subscription. I see you 4 times a year on Zoom. Such an empowering thing to make sure that you are constantly growing with the seasons, and you are constantly expanding yourself and expanding your family and expanding your community, because when you do it, you're changing the world. So I invite you to my yearly wellness subscription program in the link down below. Thank you so much for just listening and absorbing this information. It doesn't all come at once. Allow yourself to receive information and let it soak into your being, and be open to constantly learning. Okay? And thank you for joining my channel. I love you so much. Take care. Links down below. Bye-bye.